Our learning target for today is very similar to the learning targets we've had earlier this week, but instead of working with 2-digit and 3-digit numbers, today we are going to start working with 4-digit numbers. Our learning target for today is I can add and subtract 4-digit numbers with regrouping. I will know I can do this when I stack up the numbers nice and neat, I make my garage, I add or subtract the ones place first, I add or subtract the tens place next, I add or subtract the hundreds place next, and finally I add or subtract the thousands place. Okay, so the first step in my criteria says that I need to stack up the numbers nice and neat. I can see that my numbers are already stacked on top of each other because the ones places are all lined up on top of each other. The tens are stacked on top of each other. The hundreds are stacked on top of each other. And finally, the thousands are stacked on top of each other. My next step is to make my garage. So I'm going to go ahead and make my garage around my numbers. And this is just to help me keep my place value columns lined up nice and neat. And I'm going to circle to remind myself that I am adding in this problem. To start, I'm going to start in the ones place. And it's 9 plus 4 equals 13. I know that I have 3 ones. And I'm going to regroup and trade my 10 ones in for 1 10. 1 plus 7 equals 8. 8 tens plus 6 tens equals 14 tens. I'm going to put my 4 tens in the tens column, and I'm going to trade those other 10 tens in for 1 100. 100 plus 600 equals 700. 700 plus 500 equals 1200. I'm going to put my 200s down in my hundreds column, and I'm going to trade my 10 hundreds in for 1 1000. 1 plus 5 equals 6. 6 plus 2 equals 8. I know that my comma goes in between my thousands and my hundreds, so my final answer is 8,243. On my next problem, I'm going to make sure that my numbers are once again stacked nice and neat, and then I'm going to make my garage again. This is just to keep my place value lined up and to keep things nice and organized. This time I'm going to circle my symbol and notice that this is a subtraction problem, and I'm going to start in the ones place again. I have 2 ones and I want to take away 3 ones. So I know that I don't have enough. I know that a solution though is to go over and trade. I'm going to take 1 10 away from my tens column, so now I'm only going to have 3 tens, and I'm going to trade that 1 10 in for 10 ones. I already had 2 ones, so 10 plus 2 is 12. So I'm going to make my 2 turn into a 12. Now I can do 12 minus 3, which equals 9. Then I'm going to move to my tens place. 3 minus 6, whoops, there are not enough tens to take something away. So I'm going to go to my hundreds place and trade one of those hundreds in. So instead of having 3, now I only have 2. I'm going to trade that 100 in for 10 tens. So those 10 tens plus the 3 tens I already had, I'm now going to have 13 tens. 13 minus 6 equals 7. Next I'm going to move to the hundreds place. 2 minus 5, there are not enough hundreds, so I'm going to go to the thousands place. I'm going to trade one of those thousands in, so now I only have 3. I'm going to trade one of those thousands in for 10 hundreds. 10 plus 2 equals 12. 12 minus 5 equals 7. I'm going to put my 7 in the hundreds place. 3 minus 1 is 2. I know that my comma comes between the thousands and the hundreds place. So my final answer is 2,779.